right, operator, if you want to open the phone lines. Great. So, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to the fourth multi-stakeholder meeting for NTIA's initiative on software component transparency. I'd like to start by thanking everyone who came into DC today. And for those of you who are watching remotely or listening on the phone, thank you for taking the time. I'm really impressed by how much we've accomplished to get to this point. There's still a lot of great work to be done. And we're going to have, I think, a very productive day today. So, just walking through the agenda very quickly, we're going to hear from each of the four working groups. We're going to have about a half hour. I've asked them to both have a presentation of what the work they've done is and how they see their first deliverable taking form, and also make sure that we have some time for questions and clarifications. But one of the other things I want to do today is to flag what are the open questions that we still need to wrestle with. And so as we go, a couple of the groups have sort of devoted some time to their presentation to this. But as we go along today, we're going to flag them so that we can, when we come back from lunch, really dive into the big remaining open questions. And we're going to finish today by saying, okay, where are we going? What are long-term outcomes, both in terms of saying what's our first set of deliverables going to be, what's that going to look like, how are we going to reach the people we need to reach, but also once we've got that, we don't want to stop there. Something that we've been told is this absolutely can't just be a put a paper out there and you're done type process. So we're going to really dive into the awareness and adoption piece that we want to make sure that we start thinking about at this meeting moving forward. But before we begin, it is my great pleasure to introduce NTIA's Deputy Assistant Secretary, Dan Rinaldo, to start with some remarks. So thank you.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. And thank you all for being here today. Whether you came from far away, I overheard someone telling Alan that they were in from Dallas, or if you're on the phone, we appreciate your participation. We can't get this done without you. So this is our fourth meeting, the last one being by video chat. So we love the technology that helps bring us together in a pinch. And we've heard from a number of folks, both in industry and government, how impressed they are with the progress of this group. Back in December, I spoke at the OECD in Paris, and other countries were putting up slides actually discussing the NTIA multi-stakeholder process. You will find a lot of people in DC have never heard of NTIA, and we're actually much larger on the international scale, as well as Alan. He was very well known. So it's great to have good people that you can work with and bounce ideas off. So I am learning so much from him and Megan as well. So thank you both for keeping me straight. So as you probably all know, we are just celebrating the 5th anniversary of one of the more dramatic vulnerabilities that we dealt with and are honestly still dealing with, and that is Heartbleed. However, I'm sure that most of you in this room can name another vulnerability that has affected your lives or your organization more than what Heartbleed did. The vision around transparency is to equip organizations to better handle that risk. We see this as a means to empower a marketplace that can be more responsive, higher up the supply chain. NTIA launched this initiative because we feel that transparency can be a powerful tool. A tool for more efficient and effective marketplace, a lighter weight tool than regulation, and a tool that can drive innovation from the experts that already have an understanding of security risks. So I was having a conversation with Alan a couple of weeks ago about policy people, and I will say that I am 100% a policy person. Alan actually just pointed out where the button was on the microphone to get it on. So I was saying my biggest pet peeve with policy people is that sometimes we can sit on a cloud high above and look down and shake our head and be like, that's a problem. Cybersecurity, that's a problem. We all know those people, and better yet, we all know the people that say, I've been saying it's a problem for 10 years, while shaking their heads. So what you all are doing here today is you're helping operationalize action items, guidance. You're helping to get to the heart of a particular issue. And this is your process, and we are just here to help facilitate. We are completely committed to that and helping you work through these genuinely challenging issues. If this was easy, it would have been done already. We are also committed to working with you in the long run, beyond the publication of our initial findings. Each working group has a solid idea of what their initial deliverable may look like, as well as what open questions still exist. It will be helpful to consider our audience. Who are we trying to reach? Who's our target? What communities, what sectors, what roles, what actors? Even as we work on an initial set of deliverables, I will encourage you to think about the long term. What will we do to promote awareness and adoption moving forward? There's still plenty of hard work to be done, and I, again, appreciate you all coming together today and helping us move this initiative forward. Thank you so much. And thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Turn off my button.
So with that, we're going to dive in. But again, I just want to make sure that we all take a moment to acknowledge the hard work that got us here. So thank all of you who were been working on this over the months and indeed the years before this started, and some of you even late last night finishing slides. So we know this is something that has global attention. We have some colleagues at METI in Japan who are watching this webcast now. Thank you for staying up so late. We appreciate it. But now I think we're going to dive in and actually focus on the work. So we're going to start off with the working group that's focused on framing the problem. And that is Art Manion from CERT at SCI.